Hey guys, I'm Victoria, and today is a rant video. It's kind of like an opinion on the new game, Before the Storm. And I'm gonna weigh up what I liked about the game, what I didn't like about the game, and some inconsistencies I found. So, let's go. Okay, so one of the things I liked about this game was the graphics. It looks pretty much identical to the original game, except the lip syncing is a lot better. You know, the original game was a low budget game and it was an indie game, so one of the things I didn't like about this game, as soon as I started off, I noticed the controls were a little bit heavier, and I don't know, I felt like the original game, when you were playing as Max, the controls were a lot lighter and easier to run around, and with this game I felt like Chloe was kind of, I don't know, heavy. I also found with the controls that like when you would be Max and you would walk into an area that would be like, I don't want to go that way, Chloe's kind of, it felt buggy, like something wasn't quite right about it. Like she would go but she would turn and it would be kind of off. Yeah, it was just something wrong with it. I don't know, that felt weird to me. And this is kind of like, you know, Victoria, you just hate everything. No, I don't. Another thing I didn't really mind was Chloe's new voice actor. Everybody was like, oh no, it's not Ashley, it's a new voice actor, but she kind of grows on you, at least with me at least, and I was giving her a fair chance. Another dislike now. The save slots. In the original game, you would have like a slot of 3 choices and you could replay the game with 3 different like paths, I guess? This game, it took me a long time to find it. You have to go in like the extras and settings and stuff to find your other slots. Okay, so I've seen a lot of this online is people dislike David's voice actor. Okay, he's not old David to me, the voice. But his character, I feel, was very much the same. I didn't feel like David had changed in any way. I felt like they managed to keep David's character quite well. That was just, you know, my opinion. Okay, another dislike again. I discovered this when I replayed for the second time, that your decisions kind of don't matter. I don't even know his name. I'm so terrible. The guy who you spill a beer on, if you do the other options, no matter what, they'll chase you. There's no, like, in the original game, you can say, like, for example, with the bit with Kate being bullied by David, you have 2 different choices. You can either save Kate and she will be, you know, more friendly towards you, or you can leave her to get kind of bullied by David and she will be kind of, you know, angry at you. There was nothing like that with the decisions, so it kind of made me feel like, okay, maybe my decisions don't impact this game so much. And here's another good thing. I did like some of the new characters. I liked Skip, the old security guy. I thought he was a really cool character. I don't know why, I found him, you know, he fits the old game. His character was relevant and he was likable. I don't know if that was just me. I liked Skip. So something that annoyed me about the gameplay again, the rewind. Max in the original game had the rewind power, so you could go back and you could hear the other dialogue. This game was extremely slow feeling for me, and I felt the fact that there was no way to redo dialogue. If you want to hear the other dialogue, see if there's any, you know, consequences for saying certain things, you have to replay the entire game, and it is so tedious. Like, for me it was tedious. It was a very slow moving game, and the fact that I wanted to hear what happens if you're nice to certain characters, like Victoria, or mean to certain characters, like Victoria, it kind of bored me after a while, redoing the same stuff with not really much of a difference no matter what you say. I don't know, that was just my personal opinion on it, and yeah. So I do like that they've kept the like kind of geeky references. You know, there's references to like old TV shows, movies, you know, stuff like that. I like that in the original game, and they've kept some of that here, so well done there. Okay, this is gonna come up quite a lot now, is the unnecessary fan service, personally. I mean, I will admit, hands up, they did give me my own fan service. a huge Victoria Nathan shipper, and they did give me a little hint towards that. So, you know, this could be a little bit biased, but I'll just say it anyway. The character, I like her and I don't, is Steph. I feel like her mega lesbian thing is just kind of fan servicey. I just feel like they've thrown a lot of it in. The original game was kind of open to interpretation, what you believe these characters' sexuality was. But this game they kind of explicitly state she is super lesbian. She is obsessed with Rachel Amber. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. There is going to be people within life who are really crushing on somebody, but for me, I felt like they threw it in for fan service to say, Chloe, you gotta get jealous of this girl who likes Rachel because, you know, Rachel is yours. That kind of thing. I don't know if that was just me picking up on that, but I don't really feel it was necessarily needed in some way. Again, I don't know what I make of this character yet. She has not been developed enough, but from this first chapter, I'm not totally... I'm level with her, personally. But I don't know, that wasn't the only fan servicey thing that bothered me. In the diary of Chloe, there is a Blade Runner reference, and she's like, I was rubbing one out to Pris last night, or something like that, and I just think, whoa, I don't imagine Chloe doing that. She would fall asleep. As Max always said, you always fall asleep in movies. This game, she's like, oh, I'm so aroused by this movie. I can't see that as Chloe, I'm sorry. For me, that was really out of character, and I don't particularly like that. I mean, I don't know anybody who sits in front of a movie like that and be like, oh, I really like this character. It's just weird, for me at least. Samantha, I thought she was a sweet character. She was fine. I don't know if it was just me, but I kind of picked up this little crush hint on Chloe from this character, and I don't know, I felt that it was out of place and no need, even though they kind of hinted so much sooner that she was into Nathan, but I don't know. Her character hasn't really been developed enough for me to give a full, honest opinion on how I feel about Samantha as a character. I'll leave it at that for now. Another thing that bothered me about Chloe and her diary is the part where she calls Frank adorable. I have never seen anything, like, I can't imagine Chloe even saying Frank was adorable. The fact that she was so repulsed when she found out that Rachel was kind of having a thing with Frank. I don't feel like she would ever see Frank as an adorable person, and for me that was totally out of her character. One thing I like about Victoria is her constant, you know, mean attitude and jealousy is consistent throughout the game from what we can see. I didn't really have much time in this game, but the jealousy hinted around in things like graffiti and, you know, Facebook messages, it's just still there. I don't know how they're gonna expand on that, if they're gonna make her really annoyingly jealous, or are they gonna develop it into what she is now, quite bitter. I don't know. But so far, Victoria is okay for me. Something that I picked up on that I don't know, again, it's fan servicey, but in the message on Facebook, Victoria will refer to Rachel, you look hot. I don't know if that is another thing, you know, because this game was very LGBT supportive, but I don't know if that was just something thrown in, because to me, Victoria, she was a character you can interpret how you want. Personally, I found her to be straight, just because all the things in the original Life is Strange pointed at she liked Mr. Jefferson, she liked Zach, and to me, Nathan and Victoria, I'm sorry. But my boyfriend, Jonester Gaming on YouTube, he explained that you look hot is something that US people, you know, American people will kind of say. I'm British, so for me, I didn't know how to take that, so if anybody knows about that saying in particular, you know, leave a comment below. I would like to hear what you think of that line specifically. With Victoria, is it just a compliment? Is it fan servicey? I'm not sure on that one. Another inconsistency that I wasn't really keen on was these characters, like such as Samantha, such as Steph, I don't remember their names, the jock guy, I'm terrible with names, but these characters never have a mention in the first game, so where did they go? Did they just up and die or something? Did they disappear? Did Max screw up the timeline so badly that they just got erased from all existence? I don't know. I have no idea who these characters were. Obviously they needed to pad it out with characters for this second game, but personally, if I would have had any thought on it, you see like random citizens of Arcadia Bay or students, I feel like that should have been used. Just use those character models and use those as possibly previous students, because in the previous game some of these characters, there is no mention of them, and they seem to have quite a big role in Chloe's younger school life kind of thing. Just one thing that I'm positive again, because I've done a few negatives now, I think Nathan and Victoria are so cute, but that's my personal trashy ship, which I love and I support and I ship it so much. I think they were adorable. I think their character designs were great. In all honesty, I didn't think any characters were designed badly in any way. I don't think anyone was overdone or underdone. I think they looked cool. All the characters they got right. Another negative is Chloe and Elliot. I instantly was not keen on Elliot. I felt like he was just the Warren character thrown in to just give that little dorky guy a chance to have a hot girlfriend. I don't know. I feel like he was so unnecessary, and I feel like Chloe would never have dated him. There is no mention of him ever before. The only thing that is mentioned is Chloe had a bad boy phase, and to me, Elliot is not that kind of bad boy you'd expect. It felt so out of place. I feel like it's just thrown in to make your decision. You can make Chloe any sexuality you want, but this guy is so... I don't even know what to make of him. He was in like one bit of the game and mentioned in some of the texts and the diary, and I don't like him. I think his character sucks. Sorry. And now we're coming on to some of the inconsistencies and consistencies within the game. I am somebody who really loves a game that continues things from previous games, such as, the original Resident Evil games and stuff like that, which have, references to the first, second, third, however many games, and this game had a mix for me. So one consistency that they managed to keep up was the fisherman story. In the first game, we know the Prescotts take the fishing thing. I mean, it's not really a storyline I really followed or cared for so much, but they kept it in with that, I don't even know his name again, that jock guy. His dad was a fisherman and the Prescotts took it away. So, they kept that consistency, no matter that it was a consistency I wasn't really bothered about, but, it's still there. Now, here we go for an inconsistency. We have Warren. Warren in this game was supposedly 14 if you go off the logic of the other game. I think 14 or 15, someone confirm that for me. He was meant to be a lot younger, and from what I'm aware, Warren was meant to be 14, and as my friend Garnet C Angeldust, a photographer and a great Jefferson cosplayer, pointed out that Chloe and Warren only actually meet in Life is Strange, the first game. So it's kind of screwed up the logic. It's like, why is this young kid in Chloe Price's class photo when they didn't even meet or know each other until the max? I don't know where that logic came from. I don't know where somebody went wrong there, but there are no words. Honestly, for that, there is no word. And on we go with the positive. I really like the soundtrack. Some of the tracks I wasn't so keen on, but overall, I really, really like the soundtrack for this game, and I think that was one of the things that people really loved, and I definitely loved about the first game was the original soundtrack. So I was really pleasantly surprised at how good the new soundtrack was. So yeah, good one there. It's a nice soundtrack. Okay, we're gonna go on with a lot of negatives now because my negative list is kind of long. Okay, I don't know if this is an inconsistency or if it's just something that so this could be an inconsistency or could not be. I'm not 100% sure, but from what I was aware, Victoria Chase was only at Blackwell to study photography, which they have kind of kept that consistency where she entered a photography contest, and it is kind of believable because she did know Rachel prior her death, so I'm not sure there, but I don't know why Victoria was there so long. I don't know, it's possible. I lost track with that one, in all honesty. Okay, another one for Victoria. She's kind of weirdly obsessed with Rachel. I know she had a dislike for Rachel in the original game because she would graffiti, from what we know, she would graffiti negative things about Rachel. She would tear down the missing Rachel poster, and we know the jealousy was always there, personally, because I feel like she was jealous of their relationship with Nathan. Ship. But I don't know, I feel like she wouldn't have been so weirdly obsessed, like, you were hanging out with Rachel Amber? And I don't know, I feel like she would have been a little more cruel. I don't know if it's because she's younger. Because is Victoria younger than Chloe? I'm not sure. Another negative, here we go, is in the original game, Chloe supposedly had no friends other than one friend in the alternative timeline where Max screws up and Chloe's in a wheelchair. In this game, it seems Chloe is kind of liked by a lot of people, with Elliot, Def kinda, and Samantha, and I don't know, I got the vibes in the original game that Chloe was kind of a loner without Rachel, and this game it kind of shows she knows everybody, and even with the Elliot thing, I feel like even after Rachel dies, you know, he would still kind of persist with her because he kind of seems like they're trying to give him the Warren thing where he is, I don't care if I'm gonna get friend zoned, I'm gonna try anyway. But there's no mention of him, so I don't know why they kind of bond people with Chloe. I feel like she should have been more, oh, I don't want to talk to you guys, leave me alone, I blame everybody for my problems. You know, that kind of thing. I feel like, I don't know why I gave Chloe such a deep voice. I just don't feel like Chloe connected with people all that well, and she was kind of a rebellious character, which you don't really see in this game, and they've given her a lot of people on her side kind of thing. Another negative, and this one is based on a voice acting. I really didn't like Dana's voice actor. I don't know, it just felt really off to me, and I apologize for playing with this wig so much. I have not hairsprayed it and it keeps falling in my eye. Yeah, Dana's voice actor really didn't work for me. I felt like it was, I don't know, it felt out of place. I'm sorry. Okay, now here's a big one which I analyzed from the train scene with Rachel and Chloe. This one is kind of based on, Chloe is really awkward. I personally don't feel like Chloe was ever this shy and awkward in any aspect of her life, in all honesty, because she's kind of a loud, confident, in-your-face character in the first game, and this game she's like, oh Rachel, I'm so shy around you, blush, just say awkward, dumb things. And here's a lot of things I analyzed from the train scene, which a lot of people would be like, oh, it's Amber Price, but for me, I feel like this ship was, yeah, the fan service. If you pick the nice weather we're having, she'll say, nice Rachel. It's just awkward for me, it's just really badly shoved in really quickly. I don't feel like Chloe would develop a crush that soon. Like, even with Max, if you choose to have this ship with Pricefield, Max and Chloe, it takes a lot of episodes to develop that, and they have a lot of history. Whereas Rachel, it just seems like, I love this girl so much, so soon. It's kind of cringy as well, like that. When I clicked the weather one, I assumed she would be like kind of awkward. Oh, what do you think of the weather? That kind of, you know, trashy small talk. But no, it was really cringy for me. I thought it was like, oh man, what have they done? Again, you get the option on that train scene to flirt with Rachel. Again, I feel it's been thrown in for fan service, and I don't like it. I didn't personally pick that on my first time, and in all honesty, I wouldn't pick it again. It's so rushed. I feel like if you meet somebody new and, you know, I don't know, people might believe, oh yeah, love at first sight, but in all honesty, even love at first sight, I don't think anybody's gonna be like that, you know, like, oh, let's really badly flirt, you know, like right here, I'm gonna screw up with this person who I really like straight away with some dumb, terrible flirting. More on the train scene is how you're kind of forced into conversation no matter what you decide to say. The David subject kind of gets forced out of Chloe. No matter what you say, no matter what direction of the conversation always leads to that David situation. Okay, there is some slight differences, but I felt like it was forced out and there is no differentiating paths. No matter what you do, I feel like this game is going to be completely linear and it will go one way, because some of these choices that you make, you are just stuck with them, and it's like no matter what you say, it's very similar dialogue or identical no matter what you do. That is also found with the Dare game. No matter what you do, if you lie, or truth, or lie, truth, Rachel gets it right no matter what you do, and it's like, oh, there is no difference in this game, there is no variety. Going on to the lies game, that truth lie game. If you pick the pirate option, and you can pick, will you be my first mate? It's so cringy! Why are they just forcing this terrible, really rushed ship? It's not developed for me. It's just really rushed. It's going so fast. I don't feel like, what? Are they gonna get married in the next 2 chapters or something? Are they gonna just fall in love so soon? I don't know if they're gonna do a time period where Chloe, you know, dyes her hair blue. I don't know what they're gonna do with it. But for me, this relationship seems so rushed and so forced. And another one of a negative, and then we'll go on to one good thing, because we've been on the negative for a while. Chloe's trust. I feel like she trusted Rachel way too easily. Chloe had a really hard time trusting anyone, even Max, within the first game, because she felt abandoned, and she kind of just opens up a world to Rachel within the first few hours of really talking to her, and I feel like it was I just felt like Chloe never really trusted anyone, from some of the graffiti in her room. I don't know if some of that graffiti she wrote after Rachel left, maybe she totally trusted Rachel and Rachel did something horrific, which we might see, and that completely blew her trust, and that's why she's so aggressive towards Max. Who knows? But for me, I feel like Chloe wouldn't have trusted anybody so soon, because the way she is she doesn't open up to any of the other characters. Elliot, apparently they've been friends for a long time, and she doesn't really open up to him, so why Rachel? I don't know, like I said with that one, I'm open to feeling that, you know, Rachel could do something really horrific towards Chloe, that she really distrusts her, and obviously we know Chloe feels like Rachel just up and left her until we discover she's dead. My Chloe, the first game, the Chloe I was grown to love, wouldn't have been so trusting. And we'll go on with the positive now, because we've got so much negative. The Chloe and William thing. I thought they really got that so well done. I think that was really the most emotional part, was Chloe and William, especially when she's like getting upset over the smashed up car in the junkyard. I felt that was like one of the most powerful moments of the game for me. I feel like they've really tried to bring that out a lot more, because we see a bit of it with Chloe in the original game, but you see it kind of from Max's perspective, whereas this time it's really hurtful. Like, you know, you feel bad for Chloe that she's lost her dad and stuff, and I feel like they've really got that raw emotion out with those two characters. Okay, so this is more of a gameplay thing. This is a negative. I'm sorry. The speed of the game. I think my first playthrough, with doing pretty much everything, took about 3 to 4 hours. I felt like it was so long with no real progression. I have no idea which way this story is going. I don't see the progression in how this links up with Life is Strange, because I can see there's little pathways. Like, you know, there's the play, there's the Nathan bullying thing, there's obviously Rachel does die, we know that, But I don't see how this game goes from this stage to Mark Jefferson getting into that school and dead Rachel. I can't see how they're gonna progress it so quickly with how so suddenly they've kind of pushed out the Rachel Chloe thing, and I don't know, I feel like the progression is not equally balanced, personally. I can't really see a storyline, it's just, this is Rachel and Chloe, that's what it is. And here goes just one single line from Rachel that kind of annoyed me, and she will say, "That's not the Chloe Price I know." They've known each other 1 day, 1 single day, 1 day, and it's like, yeah, that's not the Chloe I know. You don't know her, you've known her 1 day. I don't know why this line annoyed me so much. It just felt like they've intended that the relationship was a lot longer, but for me that line was just so out of place. Okay, and here we go again with some more forced fan servicey things I didn't like with Rachel and Chloe. The whole option when you say, hey, are we just friends or something more? I feel it's so forced. I don't feel like it's just a relationship that's developed so quickly for me, and I feel like in a single day that these characters have just become so close, and it's like ridiculously close, too rushed as a relationship, that I feel like a relationship development is needed more to understand why Chloe was so fascinated with Rachel. I feel like she's just, at this point, it's just a massive, oh, I really like this girl, I'm just so obsessed, oh man, I love her. I don't like it, personally. I'm not on board this ship. Okay, let's go on with a positive, because there's been so much negative. If you pre-ordered the game, you get all these little costumes for Chloe, which I think is kind of cute. I think that's a nice little touch. Given Max's costume, you were just kind of stuck for a period of time. You know, I think it was each chapter with Max that she just changed her shirt or something. And, you know, a lot of the characters have just changed. But this one, it kind of gives you the option, which is kind of nice. I think that's a cool touch. Okay, so this one is a negative point pointed out by my friend Garnet again, and this is based on Chloe's nightmare in the second nightmare with William, and it is when you look at the diary. So I didn't find this myself, I will look into this one, but if you look in the diary, Max is hung like on a tree or something, and Max is actually in her original costume from the first game. So that is a massive inconsistency, given Max didn't even look that way kind of as a kid. She had a ponytail, and, you know, I feel like Chloe would have been imagining her as she saw her, you know, and on the little phone icon, Max is still that childhood picture. I don't know where somebody screwed up that far. I don't know if someone was just lazy or being inconsistent. I don't know why that's in there, because Chloe would, at this point, not even know that Max owns those clothes. I don't know. And here we go with a positive. I feel like the graffiti thing is a really nice touch. It's replacing Max's, you know, photo thing that she can do, and instead it's putting in Chloe graffitiing stuff. And you get two choices. There's no difference in what you do. You still get like the achievement or the gamer score thing or whatever console you're using it on. You still get the like little achievement for that. But I think it's a nice touch. I think it's cute. And the final 2 points is one negative, one positive. And we'll go on with one of the last negatives, is which was discussed between me and my friend Garnet again. And this is the Chloe and Max Facebook thing. So Chloe clearly has Facebook, so does Max. Why don't they just talk on there? Because, you know, it's 2010 or something, the timeline that game's based in. Facebook existed, the internet existed. Why is Chloe and Max just talking through text or phone? And I don't know, because apparently in the first game, you know, Chloe and Max had no contact, nothing, and yet there's text messages here, and it's like the logic from the first game is just kind of gone. And we'll end on a positive. I think the mixtape mode is kind of nice. I think that's just a little cute thing. Given the original game, everybody really liked the soundtrack, so this is just a nice little mode. You can just leave on in the background, have the game play the game's music and stuff, so I think that was cute. So that's my opinion on Life is Strange Before the Storm. I didn't completely hate this game. I love Nathan Prescott. He's my favorite character. I loved Victoria. I'm on the fence with Chloe. I'm not really a big fan of Rachel. I like some of the new characters a little bit. I didn't completely hate this game. These are just my personal thoughts and opinion along with some of my friends. I want to see how much more this game progresses before I give a full opinion on it, but if you have anything else that you spotted within that game that wasn't quite right, or if any of my points are wrong, or you feel my points are wrong, feel free to comment below, or if there's anything you want me to discuss about this game, or I don't know, review about it, just let me know. Don't forget to give a like and a comment if you want, and don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more of my Life is Strange content.